Pokemon trading card game Pocket has a new best competitive deck, and it has some people questioning the state of the game's meta, but it's also a ton of fun. We'll discuss all of that, including a mistake you really need to avoid, and more in today's video.
You good-for-nothing fish! I don't want to be your master!
Hey guys, this is Justin. Hello and welcome to another video. Today we'll be talking Gyarados, Greninja, but before that, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. Hopefully you got some good presents, including from those free packs we've been getting. Personally, I've been doing really well. I got my second Celebi, my second Mew. I also got the second Zapdos I needed for my Pikachu EX deck in the new Wonder Pick event. Really, all I need for Mythical Island is Pidgeot EX, and we'll do a pack opening at the end of today's video, but let's get to the meat. So this is the deck I very well may run in the 5-win challenge, and it features 3 Pokemon and of course their prior forms. Gyarados EX, your win condition, Greninja for chip damage from your bench, and Druddegon, who so far is the best stall Pokemon which exists in the game. So Druddegon, you're never going to attack with him. And not just because you want to put your energy elsewhere, but because you will not be running fire energy in this deck at all. Druddegon has one job: sit in that active slot as you feed energy to Magikarp and Gyarados. Druddegon is uniquely good at stalling because he's a basic Pokemon, so you can get him set up nice and early. He's got 100 HP. He's a regular non-EX Pokemon, so you only lose 1 point when he eventually dies, and he has the rough skin ability. Every time he's damaged, the attacking Pokemon also takes 20 damage. Now, note, he has to be actually damaged, so an attack which either fails because of a coin flip or which doesn't do damage will not trigger the rough skin ability. So the way the deck works is actually pretty simple. You get Druddegon in the active position, then on the bench you want to build up, ideally, Gyarados and Greninja. The nice thing about Greninja is he requires no energy to attack from the bench with his Water Shuriken ability, but if it looks like he might see some action, you can get his Mist Slash up with just 2 energy, and his earlier evolutions, if dragged out to the battlefield, can do damage with just a single energy, which is great. The deck ends up playing out sort of like a Moltres Charizard deck, where Gyarados is sent out in one of 2 circumstances. Either you've got such an energy advantage that you can Rampaging Whirlpool away their entire team, and you do want to be running, of course, 2 Misties in this deck, which really helps. Or against heavy hitter decks like Mewtwo, you want to get the last shot. So use a Druddegon and maybe even a Greninja to stall, hopefully take out at least one of their Pokemon, then wipe the board with Gyarados. Gyarados' Rampaging Whirlpool does also have the effect where it discards 1 energy from any Pokemon on the board. That does include Gyarados itself, and it also includes the Pokemon you're targeting, so sometimes this effect will have very little impact, and generally I'm not super concerned about it because by the time you've got Gyarados out on the board, there's usually a lot of energy going around, and that is one thing about this deck, because you often are stalling to get your Gyarados powered up, and also because you're often relying on Greninja and Druddegon's ability to chip down other Pokemon. You do see long battles with this deck. I've never seen no more cards to draw messages than when playing with this deck. The good thing is I do think it matches up against other decks which take a while to set up, like Charizard, like Mewtwo. Looking at Charizard, for example, you can see the impact of Druddegon. Charizard has 180 HP. Gyarados' Rampaging Whirlpool alone will not kill him, even with the type effectiveness advantage. However, when you add in the 20 damage from rough skin, that's the break point. And the break point when dealing with these high HP EX Pokemon can be extremely important, and that's why Druddegon's ability is so clutch, and why Greninja being set up on the bench also gives just a lot of help. We'll go into the live play session in just a second to see how this deck actually plays out, but a few more things to note. For Magikarp, use the new card which has Leap Out rather than Splash. Yes, you're giving up 10 damage, but that doesn't really matter. Leap Out is essentially a retreat where you keep Magikarp's energy, so that's nice. And when it comes to deck building, you also have to be careful. The game has a somewhat annoying feature where if you add Druddegon to your deck, it's automatically going to populate a fire energy, and that also happens in situations, at least sometimes, where you're removing other cards. It reevaluates the deck and re-adds that fire energy, so make sure, even if you're just changing out a trainer card, that you go in and manually remove that fire energy, because you don't want that. You want to build Gyarados EX up as quickly as possible. As for trainer cards, Misty, Pokeball, and Professor's Research are a must. The standard competitive deck also runs runs 2 Leafs because Druddegon has a 2 energy retreat cost, and you want to be able to get Gyarados in without sacrificing energy elsewhere. But if you find you're running into situations where your retreat is being blocked by a Misty or a Professor's Research, it might be worth trying an X Speed instead, which of course is an item and not subject to the same 1 card per turn limit. And that's the deck. It's sort of free to play friendly. They had that promo Greninja, which really helps. However, you do need to pull the Druddegons, the Gyaradoses, the Leafs from the new pack. So maybe you have the cards for this, maybe you don't. Unfortunately, moving in Blastoise as an alternative isn't a great option just because he's a stage 2 Pokemon. But with that being said, let's go straight to the live testing. Alright, so we're live in game, and I want to take a second just to remind you guys of something we discussed a moment earlier. I pulled one of the full art Gyaradoses, so I wanted to substitute it into the deck, and it went ahead and populated an extra fire energy. You gotta make sure you go in and remove that. So just one final look at the deck here. We will save it with the shiny new Gyarados, and let's jump straight into matchmaking. Alright, so we're going ahead in our first battle here. And I really think this may be the deck that I run in the 5-win tournament. Not a bad start here. One thing I didn't discuss is having a Froakie and a Frogadier is not the end of the world. You get a pretty nice 1 energy attack set up. You know, when necessary, you can also retreat him to the bench. I think if I do get... With 2 Pokeballs, I might still try to get him set up behind a guard. Yeah, we got Druddegon. Get him on the bench. Froakie back. And yeah, the only real situation that you don't want to see for this deck is a Magikarp pulled with no other support because it's got 30 HP. Obviously, not ideal to hang it out there on its own. I also don't mind going first with this deck, just because you get a better opportunity to get your cards set up. Yeah, you are losing the 1 turn of... That's fine. The 1 turn of setting up water, but it's not the end of the world. So this deck is somewhat susceptible to being Sabrina'd, especially if you just have Druddegon and Magikarp. So as soon as you pull, you know, every card you pull, you want to get on the bench. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get him, let's see, 30 plus 40. You know what? Stay out there. Let's see what you can do. And we will start to feed our Magikarp as well. Or not. Totally fine as well. Wow, it's not really totally fine. It's actually far from ideal, but that's okay. So in terms of traditionally, we should already have 2 energy on Gyarados, or at least 1. So we're a bit behind, especially with that Sabrina didn't pan out. And obviously we are playing a Blaine deck, which we're set up decently for. Blaine deck can actually hurt a bit here. I think we'll be okay. So that was quite fortunate. So we are going to be able to take out this Flareon because we got Greninja. So, yeah, when you get good pulls in the Greninja line, you honestly can sometimes run because he's a great attacker. 60 damage for 2 energy is nice. Go ahead and finish off Flareon, and I assume he's probably just going to quit because he's in a tough spot right now. Even if he gets his Rapidash, it's not looking good. Yeah, so that's win number 1. All right, battle number 2 against Patches. And I'm going to probably run all these uncut, so we'll see how many victories we can string together here. Obviously, if I go out in this battle, I'll probably do 1 more at least. But yeah, I actually don't mind going first, and it looks like we've got a really nice setup here. So I will place another Druddegon, just because I do want to start. I do want to put Magikarp out there, so I can evolve to Gyarados quickly. Although I guess it doesn't really matter. But I don't mind this. Professor's Research. We get a Misty. We're starting to look pretty nice here, and yeah. The nice thing about this deck is it doesn't, you know, good Misty coin flips are nice, but not required at all. The most annoying thing right now would be a red card against us. I should have used my Pokeball last turn. I don't know why I didn't. I guess I just wasn't paying attention. But you always want to use... There is no downside to using a Pokeball. It does shuffle your deck. That's the one thing. And you can actually use that... oh, that worked out well. You can actually use the... Actually, it didn't work out that well. I should have Pokeballed because... Whatever. So you can use that to your advantage. If you're going to scope your own deck out, look at the top 3 cards, you don't like what you've got. Ooh, nice. You can Pokeball it, and yeah, it doesn't say it on the instructions that you've got to shuffle your hand, but I mean, it makes sense because you're looking through until you find a card. Honestly, a lot of the times in this game, you just got to think through about how the cards would actually work. So I can't use a Leaf, unfortunately, just because I've already played a trainer card, but that's fine. Even with an X speed, it wouldn't have made a difference, and we've got such a massive energy advantage that I assume they're just going to quit out. But we'll see. Yeah, that Razor Leaf can't do anything, so not looking great for them. Let's get Druddegon out of there. And they conceded. That's fine. Let's cut into the next battle. That is win number 2. Alright, this time we are playing a person with an Eevee profile picture. I respect it. Eevee's a fun Pokemon. I'm doing a playthrough right now of Renegade Platinum. I don't think I've ever played Platinum. Renegade is a ROM hack. It's quite difficult, but you get a load of Pokemon, and one of them, you get an Eevee from your mom, which I don't know if you do in the original game. I'm assuming not, because in the ROM hack, you get it right at the very beginning. But I wonder if this is a Celebi deck or what we're dealing with here. But 2 Pokeballs is nice because we can again get Froakie to the back line. We will... You know, I'm actually going to go ahead and we'll do the Leaf now, and I'll do the Professor's Research next turn. Just in case we get red carded, which it's certainly possible. Hopefully not, but you never know. So yeah, I really don't mind going first with this deck. The only really bad situation is if you go first and you got a Magikarp and nothing else. Because if that had happened, his Execute with a Seed Bomb would finish it off. We're talking 30 health here. Magikarp is, well, very Magikarp-y. But yeah, so I'm playing Pokemon Renegade Platinum. It's very difficult. I'm doing the retro achievements as well, where you have to keep below a certain level when you're fighting the bosses. So like for Gym 1, you got to keep all of your Pokemon below level 16, which is very difficult because the ROM hack gives the gym leaders a full 6 Pokemon party, rather, playing too much of this game. So it's a struggle, but one of the Pokemon I've got is Eevee, and I decided to do an Umbreon evolution, so it's been good fun. So in this case, just taking a look at what the opponent has, I'm probably not going to play this second Druddegon, because right now they're not even power. They're probably waiting for the Execute with the 1 energy attack, I assume, but we'll see. But very nice that we've got Greninja set up here almost already. And we've got a Misty. Obviously, we're waiting for the King, though. And, I mean, with any deck, bad RNG can kill you. I had one game that I played earlier this week where my last 2 cards were my Gyaradoses, which it's not ideal for your win condition to be at the bottom of your deck. So, I think we will start on this Pokemon. Yeah, that's fine. And if we get another of the second evolution, I will play that Froakie. I've many times had 2 Greninja set up. It's quite nice. But without having a Gyarados set up, this deck, it struggles. I mean, Greninja has decent output, but really, you want Gyarados. Let's go ahead and drop Froakie. And keeping that in mind, I'm actually going to start loading water on Greninja. I've used 1 Leaf, so we've got 1 left. We've got 7 cards, so hopefully we get hopefully we get him sooner rather than later. We'll see. I think we've played one Oak as well. Yeah, so we've played one Oak, so 3 out of 7 cards we're pretty happy to get. Let's just see. So if I want to get a little clever here, I could, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and pull Druddegon out, and I'm going to start doing more direct damage with Greninja. Just because if they evolve either Ivysaur or Execute up to one of their top level Pokemon, they're probably going to be an EX, and I'll probably be able to get 2 points from that. So even if we lose Greninja, not really a problem, as long as we can get this Gyarados set up. I kind of regret playing this other base, or Froakie. If my pronunciation is wrong, feel free. I'm a card guy. Once you get past, I've said it many times on the channel, once you get past Gen 3 Pokemon, I start losing a bit of my knowledge. But yeah, we can afford to lose Greninja here. The only thing I find a little concerning is... No, we're fine. But, man, we really need to get this Gyarados. Could retreat, but probably not. We need to get the Gyarados. It's really all there is to it. But we're actually in a bit of a pickle here because as it stands... Oh, I should have retreated Greninja. As it stands, we're not going to have enough damage from... So... Probably got Sabrina in his deck. So Gyarados does 140. Obviously Venusaur is 190. We can survive his hit, but if he switches us out... It's a little unsure what I want to do here. Because, like, if I'm... Yeah, alright. The reason why I'm not playing Druddegon is if I get a Gyarados... Yeah, I'm very happy I did that. If I get a Gyarados, I needed to be able to retreat and attack this turn. And I didn't want to have to rely on a potential Misty. Like, fingers crossed it would have worked, but you never know. So, is there anything else I want to do this turn? I don't think so. And we've only taken one... we've only given away 1 point, so everything looks okay. Although, oof, he's going to have... Okay, so he's going to have another... Erica, and he'll get 30 back from Giant Bloom, so we should still be okay. Okay, he doesn't have another Erica in his hand. That would have put him exactly at 130. Then our Rampaging Whirlpool would have been fine. And yeah, Celebi can't survive what we're offering here. So, switch him in if you want, but it's not going to help you. And that will be GG. So you can see there, our Gyarados actually burned one of his own water, which, there's not been many. I can't think of any situations where it's really impacted the battle too much. I mean, it would have been nice to, in some situations, be able to start feeding another Pokemon, but not really concerned about it. All right, so that's win number 3. Let's go in and do another one. Maybe we'll make the 5-win imaginary challenge before everyone else knows they're playing. And we're playing a user called Vulpix. It's funny, I find Blaine can actually be pretty good against this deck. Just because it honestly, you get nuked really quickly. And they're willing to take the damage. Because this deck I find is best against EX decks. Simply because you wear down their first Pokemon, hopefully get a kill that way. Ooh. So this is really interesting. This is one of the decks that we really struggle against. Obviously, Hitmonlee and Stretch Kick hits our benched Pokemon, so this should be interesting. And it does 30 damage as well, so it's nothing small. But what I can do is wait. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Yeah, I could use another basic Pokemon, and I could use a retreat. There we go. There's Leaf, and there's Frogadier. Okay, so I'll go ahead and place 1 energy on Druddegon, but there's not much else I can do this turn, so go ahead and end that. Obviously, the energy there isn't to attack, it's just to facilitate the retreat if necessary. So I guess this is a Golem deck. I know Golem is becoming pretty popular. I haven't played it a ton. But it's kind of interesting how Hitmonlee is basically existing to counter... Well, I feel like a lot of decks in the meta right now are some version of delay decks, which, I mean, makes sense. For just kind of... Oops, not a Misty. Back that up. Leaf. Which, yeah, I think makes sense. But... Yeah, I wish we could play this now. That would be really nice. But yeah, given that a lot of decks are delay decks, Pokemon like Hitmonlee, it makes sense that they've got a place in the meta. But I'm a little concerned right now, to put it mildly. Mew EX, he's going to be feeding energy to his Golem, I assume. His Golem needs, I believe, 3 for his attack. Like I said, I haven't really played a Golem deck much. I don't know why you would... Doesn't make sense to me, really. Oh, interesting. He didn't take damage there. I wasn't expecting that. So I don't really know what the purpose of that is. So that's annoying. We've got a Magikarp, but we can't play it. Because it will get knocked out. And we've already evolved, right? Yeah, we already evolved this turn, so let's go ahead and use Water Drip. Fine, and then next turn we'll be able to we'll use our active ability on probably Graveler and then knock Hitmonlee out. That's fine. Doesn't really bother me any. The good thing is with Hitmonlee gone, we can also start to set up our Magikarp. Haven't drawn a Gyarados yet, obviously. We've pulled both researches. No Pokeballs. So let's go ahead and retreat you this way. And then I can play Magikarp, and I will also Misty Magikarp. Okay, we'll take that. I'm usually happy with 1 for Misty. Okay, and then we will Shuriken Graveler. Because Graveler's HP becomes important here. And then we can miss / Hitmonlee. And I think that's it. So I wish I knew how much damage. I think Graveler does 100 and then also does some prevent damage. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. It really depends on how our Misty goes, and because keep in mind, Mew EX has genome hacking, so once we get Gyarados up, it will be able to replicate our big attack. Keeping in mind as well that we've got more HP than the attack does. Oh. Okay, so we're going to kill Graveler here. I don't really know what he's thinking. Again, we're getting really shitty luck when it comes to pulling our win condition. Good. Really good Misty luck, though. Let's go ahead and put this on Druddegon. And you take water. Yeah, oh no, you're grass. Ooh, I'm glad I checked. So yeah, he's probably a bit frustrated he didn't get one of his golems either, because that might have went differently. Golem is dangerous when set up, but I mean, that's the thing about those Stage 3 Pokemon, and He's only going to be able to... Actually, he won't even be able to use Psy Shot because he's got no Psychic Energy in the deck. So I think he'll probably concede here. If not, hopefully we can pull a Gyarados. And yep, all right, so that's GG. I really need to look more into that Golem deck. I know that's probably an... I don't think it usually runs Mew, but that's what, win 4, I think, or 3? I think that's win 4. It's one of them. We'll keep playing. Let's keep going. And like I said, we will end with a pack opening as well. Maybe 2. I don't know when I don't think my timer will have reset, but that's fine. Also, I'm not trying to argue that the 5 win conditions will be the exact same as this. Obviously, people will probably be taking it a bit more seriously when, you know, it comes down to it, because having to go through all of that is quite frustrating. Okay, so this is a Primeape deck. Pretty nasty fun deck. I like it a lot. A deck where you really want to go second, though, because ideally you get Reckless Charge going, then you can evolve right into Primeape, especially where I am not going to be attacking. He's probably a bit frustrated to see this setup right now. So we'll take that. Give you water because we don't have our Magikarp yet. I'm just going to go ahead and play a second Druddegon just in case he does have a Sabrina. And yeah, I think that's good. Oh, we've got Greninja as well. We've had some really good pulls on that entire evolutionary line throughout this video. But yeah, obviously not ideal for him. I don't know if he's going to wait for me to ping his Mankey, but I'm not going to. He may just be happy to take the time to build up Machamp in the back. But what we're really waiting for, I guess he's going to do it now. That's fine. By the time he's got Primeape up, I will have Greninja up as well. The only thing we really need to get is our Magikarp. That would make a big difference. But for now, it's fine, because we're not wasting energy yet. And that'll be it for this turn. But I will say, you know, losing 30 health out of nowhere, it's not nothing. And I could have also went in and... Yeah, no. I could have went in and knocked him out with my Frogadier. Maybe I should have done that in hindsight, because now he's going to get a kill. I think we'll be okay. Because he's going to do 20. I can kill him with my attack. He's got 40 health left. So... yeah. His Machoke has no energy. So yeah, this is definitely the better move. And we can evolve him. Unfortunately, still no Magikarp, which sucks because we actually do have a Gyarados now. We've only pulled 1 Pokeball, so we've got 2 Magikarp and 1 Pokeball. So, fingers crossed, I guess. Let's go ahead and Water Shuriken Machoke, because we've got no use for it on Primeape. Then we will finish off Primeape here. We're starting to waste energy, but we've got an advantage, and if he doesn't have Machamp, we will take him out next turn. If he does have Machamp, he's still going to need some time to build up that energy. Okay, so that's another win. Let's keep her going. Let's keep the dream alive. Looks like we're only at about 23 minutes of recording too, which is not bad. By all accounts, you guys like these longer videos, and I think I did enough time with the setup at the beginning. If you don't want to watch that, you're fine. I got no need to check these missions. I'll do that later. Let's keep going. I'll do at most 2 more if they're relatively quick, but if we lose, we'll also call it. But yeah, this deck is really fun. I've had a blast playing it. This deck and the Coffin deck are definitely my new favorites of the meta. Celebi is fun, but it can be pretty frustrating. And more really nice starting RNG here. Ooh. So, Blitzel, when it evolves, it can attack bench Pokemon, so it's not great to see. And, like, this is why I don't like going second sometimes. He's getting an extra turn to work his way through his deck. He's down to 12 cards already. I mean, I'll be down to 12 here in a second, too, but... So we got Leaf, which is nice. It's because when we need to, we can get Froakie out to the active slot. Alright, that's all I can do. A little scary. Hope we get a Pokeball so we can start our Misties. Oh, if he's got a Giovanni, we are in major trouble. Oh, it's not only benched, it's just random. So that's my mistake. I misread the, or I misremembered the, fudge. So this is not good. This is a really poor start. Doesn't help at all. I mean, this helps from a pure numbers standpoint. I'm decreasing your likelihood of hitting the one I don't want you to hit. The question is, do I bring it down even further? Probably not. But I think if we get hit next turn, it's probably going to be GG for us. Assume he's going to start feeding Pikachu. But we do not really have a path forward here because not only, like, I guess we got a bit of a path forward, but god damn it. That is not what we needed right now. So we need to get a Magikarp this turn. Okay, so that's a good start. Now we need to hope that Zebstrika doesn't hit Magikarp because... Can Thunderspear, can he choose? I don't know. I've never played it. Wow. If he can, I mean... Good for him. I don't know. Yeah, like I've never played the card before, so I'm not sure. But if he can, we're gonna be done. If not, we still... Yeah, okay, so he can choose. So, that's unfortunate. That is going to be GG. And I'm just gonna concede. Good game. He got pretty much every pull he needed. Let's just see what we would have got on this Pokeball. Doesn't make a difference. Alright, so still, I think we rattled off 5 or 6 wins there. Obviously, that deck we just played is a top meta deck. And yeah, he got Zebstrika in that spot early on, and the electrical deck is pretty quick, so, you know, something we're going to be facing. But let's go ahead. So we're going to have a few things to open. I think we should have gotten the holiday pack. No, we didn't. I guess it hasn't reset yet. Do we have anything in any other? I think we did open our one for today. Let's go ahead and open a Mythical Island pack. I am really close to being done with these. The only Pokemon I need is Pidgeot. So I think if I pull even one of them, I'm going to move on. And I still need Gardevoir. I haven't pulled a single Gardevoir, so that'll be my big focus here. And all right, so that's it for the video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.